Hey guys, Shadylikeatree here, and welcome into Reminiscing with Shady, episode 57. This is WWF Warzone. This game was developed by Acclaim Studios, published by Acclaim Entertainment. It was released on Game Boy in June of 1998, and later on Nintendo 64 in August of that same year, and then in July it was also released on PlayStation here in North America. It's a single-player and multiplayer wrestling game. It was one of the earlier kind of multiplayer wrestling games. As you can tell, this is Stone Cold Steve Austin against, I guess, Mosh, which was one of a pair of brothers or teammates or something like that. And I picked Stone Cold, and then the CPU picks the character it wishes to play as. And then there's some certain factors and things like this that go into each character. The ratings aren't widely available in the game. Some characters are faster than other characters, etc., etc. And some characters are slower, or stronger, what have you. And there's a number of variables and speed numbers and equipment and things like that that go into this game and the game mechanics, especially when you tie up. Things always beat certain things. Things never beat certain moves when you do it, so you got to kind of choose your moves wisely. But anyway, this is just a simple kind of beat 'em up to me, because I just kind of button mash and beat this guy into the corner. And each time you get stunned, you lose a layer of color in your energy bar, your health bar, and after you get down into the red, you're pretty easy to pin once you've been stunned. So and then right here I'm being held, and so you can only hold for so long, and then I'm in the green here and he's in the yellow. But this game is a lot of fun. I think I've talked about this before in my other wrestling Reminiscing with Shady. I did WCW Nitro, which was, I believe, like episode 7. I'll try to remember to put that in the description. My cousin was into wrestling, so he was a little older than me, and I kind of looked up to him when I was younger, and so I kind of watched it when I was a young kid, and I was into it, and I even went to a WCW match when I was, I think, like 12 or 13 or something. My dad took me to see Sting wrestle. But yeah, this was just kind of a fun game that he and I would play together, and he would always beat me because he actually had this game or he had the game prior to this or something like that for Sega Genesis. Oh, it was WWF Attitude or something like that. It was a game that came before this. So there were it was a game or two before this one, and he would beat the crap out of me on that. So I ended up getting this for myself. I got really good at it, and then I proceeded to just beat the tar out of him. So yeah, this game features a bunch of different wrestlers. It's the sequel to 1996 WWF In Your House. A lot of the gameplay is based on grappling, so it's not the most fluid of games, as I said. You're seeing me trying to here just to try to kick him, and I don't want to grab him, but because it's just a lot of the moves come out of that, and so it's I don't know, it's just not as fluid of a game. Like right there, you can see there's a definite break. It's not as fluid of a game as it is presently today, and there's, the graphics are actually, I think, pretty good for this time. The player models maybe don't move as well, but I've always thought wrestling games kind of really were on the forefront of visual technology because they're so simple, because you really only have two entities in the ring that you have to pay memory for, and then you have kind of the ropes, and then you have that kind of stagnant crowd in the back that you don't really pay attention to during the game. But watching it now, I can see that that's pretty bad. But if you look at, comparatively speaking, the two wrestlers in the ring right now, which is The Rock and Mankind, two of my favorites, you can see certainly how much improved if I were to get out, say, Croc, how differently this looks. There's a bunch of different kind of game modes in this game that I've tried out over the years. Right now, this is just a simple kind of versus match, but also there's custom player, creative player, or whatever I think it's called. There's the WWF Challenge, where you have to take a character and win all the titles by defeating a bunch of different dudes, and then you have to Then there's this like create a player mode where it's kind of like a career mode where you can create your guy and you can build him up and make him stronger, make him faster, make him look the way you want to look. And it's actually I never made it all the way through that mode because it's just so long, and you get way bored with the game before that mode actually comes, like before you actually come to the end of that mode. So yeah, I played this game a lot when I was a kid. I wasn't really allowed to play a lot of shooters, but wrestling was kind of the only real violence when I was little that I was allowed to have, and I would have been about 9 years old when this came out, and so this was really the only true fighting or violent experience that I had, back in the day, and I don't know whether that's good or whether that's bad, but it was all I had, so it's what I went with. So I've played this, I've played WCW Nitro, I've played In Your House, I've played I forget the arcade, I think it's like Attitude or I don't know, it was made in like 97 I think, or 95. But yeah, anyway, The Rock was victorious there, Stone Cold as well. I won both the matches that I played for this game. It was a lot of fun doing this video for you guys, so I hope you guys have certainly enjoyed this. This has been Reminiscing with Shady, episode 57. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.